This is the hive that was being robbed about 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to go in and check and make sure it's still doing good. I start by removing the lid and then removing the inner cover. The bees have propolis this in just a little bit, so that was a little hard to take off. Now I'm going to start at one side and inspect the frames. I'm using my Hive tool. It has a J hook and that helps me lift the frames up. So if we look at this one, there's absolutely nothing on it. So the bee colony is too small to have spread to all of the frames. And so I'm just going to skip ahead, skip frame 2, skip frame 3, because I don't think there's anything on there. And frame 4, I'll skip that one, and then I'm going to check frame 5. Let's see if there's anything on there. Again, using my Hive tool to get that frame up. Sometimes this can be a little bit difficult, but just remember to be patient and take your time and be careful. Don't smush any bees. So what we see here is we see they have built up comb, and in the top side we see the brood nest. So this is where the queen has laid her eggs. We see capped brood, and the white is larva. And that's why you need to use the black foundation so that way you can see the white larva. So this is actually also where you're most likely to see the queen. So I'm real quick checking if I could see the queen. All right, now we're moving on to frame number 6. Frame 6 is a little bit of a disappointment. They built up comb, but there isn't really much honey or anything on there. Oh, there's some cap brood. So I'm going to put that frame back in. It's important to remember when you put these frames back in that you put it back in the way that you had pulled it out. I'm not sure that I did that. I think I forgot that little tidbit. Okay, so then there is frame number 7. Frame 7, they've built up comb, and there looks like there is some honey in there. So they're packing these cells with honey, which is their stores for winter. This is what they're going to eat all winter long because there isn't anything to forage during the winter. So they kind of stockpile their food. Okay, so moving on to number 8. Frame 8. Frame 8. Oh, I don't see very much on this. This is looking to be a bit of a disappointment. Oh, look at all those empty cells waiting to be loaded with honey. But I do see drone cells. Drones can be identified because their head is just all eyes. All right, frame number 9. This is heavy with honey. And there's a surprise on this one too. It looks like there is a queen cell on there. I'm going to put it in the frame so you could see too. There we go. That is a queen cell. And if I look at the bottom, that looks like a capped queen cell. At the point at which the queen is capped, she will emerge within 3 or 4 days. And then she spends about 3 or 4 more days in the hive, and then she takes her mating flight. So I will check this again in about maybe 2 weeks and see if there's any change, possibly a new queen. And probably within 3 weeks, we should be able to see eggs and larvae from the new queen. I'm going to check the frame number 10. There's nothing on this one at all. So it goes right back in. All right, so that was checking the hive that was being robbed 2 weeks ago. Before I close it up, I'm going to center the frames, make sure there's equidistance between the frames and the outside wall of the box. And this is so that way I don't give the bees enough room to build weird comb, because weird comb attaches to weird spots and I'm not going to be able to go through the frames if they've built comb that attaches everywhere. And I've accidentally forgotten before. So I know from experience to not do that. So I'm going to put on the inner cover. And then I want to make sure it's all straightened up. And then I'm going to put on the roof. And that was a successful going through the hive. I hope you enjoyed.